Right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Sam Martin. Here. Bob Freeman. Yep. Rick Morgan here. At 3 o'clock this afternoon, we did hold a non-public session under 91A32C, a tax matter. It was a meeting with our tax collector and a taxpayer regarding delinquent property taxes and a payment arrangement to make them come current. For that reason, it is potentially detrimental to a person's reputation, and I move that we seal the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Trying to get clarity on that issue. First thing we have are the minutes of the Selectmen's work session, which occurred on Monday, August 7th. I make a motion we approve them as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have the minutes of the Selectmen's meeting, which occurred on Monday, August 7th. I make a motion we accept them as printed.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We have the check voucher totals. Payroll with taxes and insurance for the week ending 8/12 was $96,300.92. Accounts payable for week ending 8/5 were $15,850.39. For a total disbursed of $112,151.31. There are also accounts payable for the water and sewer department, week ending 8/5, in the amount of $45,841.34. I make a motion we sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I got them all, Bob. There's the Highway Department work log, which is here in the folder if anybody would like to look at it. This is a memo from Brad Harriman regarding 28-171. It's a copy of a letter from the Lakes Region Planning Commission, who is going to be here tonight in support of the Department of Transportation's plans for a roundabout at 28 and 171. We received a letter from the DOT and also with attached letter from the Department of Revenue Administration regarding the supplemental highway money which we are going to have the public hearing to receive. And it pretty much simply says exactly what we had already known, that Senate Bill 38 provided this additional funding. It does explain how the funding was allocated. And that it cannot be used for projects which were already funded, but must be done for supplemental projects. And there is a letter from the Department of Revenue Administration clarifying that under 3195B, that we have to have the public hearing, which we have scheduled to receive that money. But it is, both of those letters are here in the folder if anybody would like to look at them. We have a cemetery deed which has been prepared. the town-owned cemetery.
It's a new parcel of land that's been donated to the town by Frank and Cheryl Riley.
Correct.
And part of the donation was to deed the lot over to Dan and Sandra Lippman.
Correct. So I make a motion, we sign the deed.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have a notice of intent to cut wood. This is on tax map 57, lot 002. It's a 38.95 acre lot. The owner is David and Winifred Mitchell. The logger is Pearlie Ryder. The taxes have been paid. I make a motion we approve it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. There's a new format, evidently, which was not, was before it was a warrant for the timber taxes. They've changed the format. This is on a lot where there's a certification that involves the collection of $213 in timber tax. I make a motion we sign it. All in favor? Aye. We received a letter from Jeb Bradley, Constituent Services, regarding a public restroom with the lack thereof at the dump. It's here in the folder if anybody'd like to look at it. We also received a letter from a citizen regarding what they believe is some people not paying for, not getting on the, driving by the scale over at the dump. Brad, have you received a copy of this?
I did, and
Okay.
actually, I did, Brewster wrote out a response to it, hand wrote it, and I typed it up for him on Friday. I was gonna have him sign it today, but he was out sick today, so, and then I also wrote a response to it too that I'll present to the board there for the files and stuff like that. So,
One of the things that we did talk about in work session is because of how busy it can be over there at the dump on particularly Saturday and Sunday, of the need that there would be the 3 people on duty on weekends. Now, we know, obviously, there are times when people call out sick, and obviously there are times when people are on vacation, but it is our position that when that happens, then we need to use that floating personnel or even call somebody in. I do think it's busy enough over there that it's unrealistic to expect that 2 people are gonna be able to keep their eyes on everything.
basically, what the conversation Bruce and I had was that, if we do get into a situation where there are only 2 people there, then we won't be doing any bailing on that day, so they could be out in the yard, be visible. And when we are bailing, then I want to make sure that we don't have all 3 people in there bailing. We want to keep at least 1 person out in the yard visually seeing what's going on there. So if they see somebody come by, they'll be down lower there. If they see somebody come by the scales, head over to the dumpsters, they can go intercept them and say, before that load, you need to come up, get weighed in, and do it that way.
And I think
So,
all that's fine, I think that makes perfect sense, and I would assume we already probably are trying to bail on the less busy days.
we are.
But, and again, what we're saying is on the Saturday and Sunday, we want 3 people there. So if that means that we call somebody in, if somebody's on vacation or somebody's gonna be out sick, then we do that. The rest of what you're saying makes perfect sense to address the other days. Okay.
And if we know somebody's gonna be on vacation, we need to plan ahead
We do.
to have the floater over there.
Okay. We still have, which we had tabled last week, and I'm gonna suggest that we simply table it again. This is on the planning board's request, to clean up the 1.5 acres. We haven't got clarity on that, and Connie is not here tonight.
Right.
For obvious reasons, and we suggest we leave that in the folder and address it next
Yeah,
week.
there's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow night.
Correct. Okay. We have a copy of a letter. Again, this is from our Planning Board, no, Zoning Board of Adjustment. Notice of decision regarding case number 17-3. There's a motion for rehearing on the Alexander Bachman. It is here. It's an administrative appeal. See if anybody look at it if they'd like. We got a letter which has gone out to all of our boards. It came to me as chairman. And it's from FEMA. And I've read it all completely now twice, and I am more confused than I was the first time, because it specifically talks about a series of meetings which were held regarding the Winnipesaukee watershed as part of FEMA's risk mapping, assessment, and planning program. And then it goes on to discuss in there that it says, at this discovery meeting, we reviewed the flood risk data gathered. We also discussed your community's flooding history. And then it goes on to talk about the notification times and these plans, and it attaches 2 schedules of all of the different towns affected, and Ossipee's not in it, on either one of them. So, and it is carbon copied to every one of our boards. So I guess, Ellen, I would like you to reach back out to FEMA and find out why we were carbon copied this. We're not a part of the Winnipesaukee watershed that I'm aware of. I don't want to ignore this in case we are supposed to do something, but did you read anything different, Sam? I can't find any reference to Ossipee in here other than it says that they discussed us. So, if you could get some clarification on that. There's a copy of a letter here from a gentleman who lives on White Pond Road. And I'll read it real quickly, and it was to Chief Eldridge. I wanted to write to you and say thank you for taking action on our neighborhood's request to add White Pond Boat Ramp to your list of areas to patrol. I want you to know it did not go unnoticed. Just a thank you letter, and I believe this came from the police station, so they already have a copy of it, but you can make sure that that goes into his personal file. That concludes the red folder. Old business, water and sewer regulations, still in progress?
Yes.
Okay. Any other old business?
No, I don't.
New business.
Good morning, August 10th. I asked Ms. Ellen, is it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Mrs. Ellen White here, to inform Mr. Harriman that there was an old abandoned couch at the corner of Youngs Road and Brownsbridge. Now, I don't know about anybody else in this town, but I don't want people throwing their trash on the side of the road to avoid fees at the landfill. Okay, there's property for sale on Brownsbridge Road. If I'm gonna drive up there and see a couch in the corner, it's been there for 2 weeks. Would I want to actually live there? No, my property value's gone. We all know that. No, it's now Monday and it's still there. Why can't somebody pick it up?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an abandoned couch in Youngs Road and Brownsbridge. It's just sitting there.
Is it on town property?
It sure is. I don't know if it's town or state or not. Is Brownsbridge a state road?
Yes.
No, Brownbridge Estates is a private road.
No, I'm talking about Brownsbridge Road.
Brownbridge Road is a state road.
Okay, now I don't know if it's no more on the city road or, I just want it out of there.
Can you check into that?
We will.
If it's on our property or the state, if it's his state, give them a call and have them.
Yeah, please, I mean, it's you know, it's been there too. I'm afraid some guy's gonna come along and put a blanket and go to sleep at night. I mean, you never know. Really.
He won't be on the ground.
Right, you're right there. So, that's it.
Ellen did mention it to me, and I forgot about it, so.
Okay, no problem,
I
no
take
problem.
responsibility for that.
Just
so
look into it, it's no
We'll
big deal.
take care of that.
I don't want, I don't want tourists coming in here and not seeing lawnmowers and furniture all over the place, you know what I mean?
And we'll address it.
Okay, great.
Any other new business?
I don't.
I don't know if it should come under new or under old. Probably a little bit of both. Ed last week attended the Government School Board meeting. He asked us for some questions. We gave him a couple. I don't know if you two have had a chance to watch the meeting.
I haven't.
If you haven't, I encourage you to do so. The question that I had submitted, the main one, there was two actually, but the main one was regarding what the school district is doing regarding the opioid and heroin problem. I watched the meeting a year ago when Ed asked him, and I watched it again just last night or the night before when he asked them again. And I would invite everybody who's watching this, if they have any interest at all, to review the question and the answer. Trying to be as diplomatic as I can. I cannot, quite frankly, imagine that anybody could watch that meeting and be satisfied with the answer. Everybody agrees that there needs to be equal portions of prevention, of enforcement, and treatment. There is no way on God's green earth that anybody could listen to the responses of our superintendent and believe that there is enough prevention effort going on. At one point in the meeting, Superintendent flat said that they are concentrating more on the parents when it comes to the opioid crisis than they are on the students. Don't take my word for it, watch the meeting. I'm trying to keep this as simple as I can, but so long as we are burying 20-year-old kids, we are not doing enough. I'm not pointing at any one individual, I say we, whether it's the prevention portion, or the enforcement portion, or the treatment portion, so long as we continue to bury kids, we're not doing enough. What I hoped to hear from our school board was that we are constantly looking for something better, that we are constantly looking for a new program, that we are constantly looking to reevaluate where we can change things. And I did not hear that, not at all. What I heard was that they seem satisfied that what they're doing is enough. And I respectfully disagree. I do encourage people to watch the exchange. Ed, thank you for going on my behalf and asking that question, but I quite frankly can't imagine that anybody would be satisfied with the answer that he was given. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. When we all grew up, right, Mom and Dad disciplined us. At least when I grew up, they did. And that's why I've never done drugs. I was afraid of my parents punishing me. And we've been fighting this thing. Marijuana was outlawed in 1937. And we're still fighting it. Why? You can't win that war. You can help prevent it, but you're never going to be able to win it. Especially with an open border. The stuff just keeps flowing in and flowing in and flowing in. We can do our best. That's all we can do. But it's never going to end. Believe me, it's not.
And I'm not disagreeing with you.
All right?
However, I would draw a very quick and very distinct distinction between marijuana from the 60s and heroin, fentanyl, and carfentanil in 2017.
You're right.
We are burying kids in this community, including one yesterday.
I 100% agree.
So it needs to continuously be brought to the forefront. We need to continuously talk about it, and we need to continuously strive to do better.
Most
To do
most-
better.
Most of the responsibility does lie with the parents, though.
And I respectfully disagree with you. Anything else on the new business?
I don't.
Ash, did you have something for us? I didn't want to skip over you. All right, we don't have a need for,
We do.
we do,
We do.
for non-public?
Yes. Under D.
Okay, I wasn't sure that it was ready.
D.
We are going to, I move to go into non-public under RSA 91A3 2D, and it's regarding an acquisition. Sam Martin? Bob Freeman?
Yes.
Rick Morgan, yes. We will be back literally in 3 or 4 minutes. It won't be long.
So, look at that.
I don't know if I locked that or not, did I?
Just a face on this.
If not, I'll leave it up there.
I'll follow you out. It's the other way.
And I got one more thing from Brad, too.
Okay, make a motion to re-enter public session.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion that we seal the minutes of the non-public we just had, which was held under 91A32D, under the acquisition portion of the statute, as to have it public at this point would jeopardize the acquisition. As soon as that is completed, I will move to unseal those minutes, but for now, I move that we seal them.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. You have something else you said for Brad?
No, I just wanted, Brad, and Ash reminded me of it, seeing him here. Has Billy done anything with that corner up there yet?
Up across from that retaining wall?
Yes.
We did add some gravel to that shoulder up there last week, I believe it was. He went up there with a shoulder machine and added some gravel to it.
Oh, is it passable?
I'd have to go up and really look at it and see what the difference was, stuff like that. I'll do that, I'll check into that. Yep.
What were they doing that third road today?
They're putting a new culvert in.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
By way of announcement, we have the 6 o'clock presentation here tonight with DOT on the 28-171 improvements. And on next Monday night, as part of our selectmen's meeting on the 21st at 5 o'clock, we're doing the public hearing on the block grant funds allocation that we get in from that Senate Bill 38. Anything else? Ash?
What are you anticipating for funds?
We actually got a check already for 151,000, somebody remind me, 151,000 and something.
53, wasn't it?
153,081, I think.
Okay. What it is under that Senate Bill 38 was money that the Department of Transportation had in surplus. So they have allocated that money out to all the towns, and it was based partly on the number of miles of road you have along with your population. So we get $153,000 more in the block grant than what we had anticipated. We have to have a public hearing to accept it, and there are, and I shouldn't say strings, but the condition of it is that we can't use it on funds on projects which we had already funded. So Brad has come into us with a proposal to do a chip seal overlay on fiber mat chip seal overlay on Elm Street and Dawes Corner Road, which will pretty much eat up that 153,000, but that's the direction we're headed right now, but we have to have a public hearing first to accept the money. Anything else? Ed, anything? All quiet?
No, but
Keep smiling, Ed, keep smiling.
Okay.
Where are we at with the covered bridge?
Still on the ground.
I got that.
It's still in the final design stage, being submitted down to DOT for all their reviews and permitting, anticipating going out to bid, late summer, this fall sometime. The bulk of some work hopefully will start this year, but the bulk of it will be next year and stuff. So it's an ongoing process, just one of those ones that, unfortunately, with all the planning and engineering going on, it's nothing that anybody gets to see happening. So it looks like it's stagnant. Pardon?
We shouldn't, none of us should be laughing, sincerely.
No, I'm not laughing.
What we've
I'm laughing
done, it
because
will
I'm-
have been 10 years and $2 million. But it is, I hope, at some point, gonna go back across the river.
Brad, I know it's no fault of yours. I know where the fault lies, and it's just frustrating, to be honest with you.
Well, the mere fact that the last meeting you went, you said there were, 32 people or 28 people there, 28 people representing 32 agencies or vice
Yeah,
versa?
something like that.
And that's exactly why people hate government,
A lot of red tape.
so.
should I answer that?
No,
Sorry, these are add-ins to the red folder that, we have three different, this is a request for administrative abatement. This is on map 38, lot 5. It changed the original assessment from $205,300 to $153,975, and results in a refund or abatement of $1,051. This is the chapel portion of the Agape Ministries property on Route 16. I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All in favor? On map 38, lot 5, the original assessment was $146,000. The revised building assessment is $33,000. This includes the portion of the building which is the food pantry is being exempted from taxes. This results in a refund or abatement of $2,368. And this, I should add, is for tax year 2015. I make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And this is on map 38, lot 5. It is the same property for tax year 2016. It results in a refund or abatement of $2,479. I make a motion, we approve it.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry. Anything else? Ms. Owen? See? Bob?
Nope, I do not.
When are they starting the water meters?
No. Notices this week, Wednesday. We're just gonna do the 2-inch ones first. But we're sending out notices in September. We're hoping to have the bigger ones put in. I can do that.
Yeah?
Any word on doing the water line?
When?
Yeah,
Yeah, after Labor Day now.
okay.
We'd like to do it after Labor Day, once everyone's pretty much cleared out, so we gotta drop the water down, so.
Well, most of them keep their stuff in through September, so is there gonna be a notice
Yes.
Yeah.
mailed?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know the fire department wants to know about it because we want to
Yeah, I know.
replace.
You want to clean that shit, yeah, I forgot that either, yeah.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.